I believe U.S. attorneys are going to jail. I've been saying this several times, but the closer we get day by day, it gets even more true to me. Here's the thing. They signed an affidavit saying that Elon is not head of Doge. And then roughly a week or two later, the State of the Union happens, and you have the President of the United States having Elon Musk stand up and say he's the head of Doge. There's some funny business going on. It gets even deeper than that. You ready? Okay, so other than that, what's happening? Basically, we have a scenario where in the writing of the GOP, in the writing of the White House, there's evidence of them saying they're head of Doge. But it gets even better than that. Now we have situations where affidavits and motions are being made and filed by higher-ups in the DOJ. The reason the higher-ups are doing it because word is the lower people who are the actual U.S. attorneys who usually fill these things out are not filling them out. They're worried. Somebody's worried of going to jail. Somebody's worried that they're going to get hit. And Elon's going down with them because Elon has broken over 20 plus broken the laws 20 times that relate to the Constitution. And it's beginning to show up in these rulings that are coming through right now. The score is 35-1. We've won 35 cases to 1 against the Trump administration. And Elon's involved in a lot of this stuff. And there's a good chance he's going to go down and have some problems. The other thing that's getting the U.S. attorneys in trouble is them filing a motion to get rid of a judge who basically ruled that you can't deport people, and they ended up deporting people. So there's this thing with the Trump administration in contempt, but Trump won't get directly in trouble for it. You know who's going to get hit first? Pam Bondi and the U.S. attorneys. And Pam Bondi's got a chance of going to jail as well. Eventually, Elon's going to go to jail, but this lawsuit that's happening, the one where they filled the affidavit saying that Elon is not head of Doge, that's where he's really going to get in trouble because long term, first of all, that's going to rule against him and pull him away from Doge. Then what they're going to do is take the Doge situation, and those 20-year-olds are going to turn state's evidence when it's time. You might say, well, Pam Bondi's head of DOJ. What's state's evidence? Here's the thing. There's a couple of things happen. One, they can turn state's evidence if organizations like the ACLU decide to sue and pull them in, or if subpoena them and they gotta go. It's gonna happen. And then what happens if the states decide to sue? Shoot, Elon could get convicted and go to jail, and Trump can't even pardon because a president cannot pardon a state convicted person, or else he would have pardoned himself because he this is what gets crazy, because he is a convicted felon out of New York, and he couldn't pardon himself. It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's true. The other thing I want you to understand is that the U.S. attorney's in trouble, and that's why 7 U.S. attorneys, like from Sis on down in New York, resigned. They try to get out of that because they know they can lose their license. You know those 35 wins I've talked about? I keep repeating this. I'm like, one of those wins was the American Bar Association. The ABA sued the Trump administration and won. I'm telling you, this is going to be ugly for them. There's some people going down, not only losing their jobs, but losing their license if they're lucky. And at worst, could be losing their freedom. They're walking right into it. And Pam Bondi could go to jail. Pam Bondi, the question is she a true Trump cultist, or is she a slickster, kind of like Vance? Vance could go to jail too, but if they're really slick, there's going to be a line they hold and they're going to back away. But they hadn't met that line yet. But they're getting there. Pam Bondi's done. She's in trouble. She's on the list. How do we know she's on the list? Because she is helping Donald Trump file motions against a judge who is who basically is in contempt with a judge over the deportation because he ruled against it on a Saturday night, and they kept deporting people to El Salvador. And it's bad. And it gets even worse. They filed a motion to try to get another judge because the judge was calling them in to asking for a timeline for them doing that to prove that they're actually in trouble. You know, that they are in that they're in you know, in they have messed up so bad that they you know, they basically are in contempt of court. It's like, oh my God, are you seriously going to do this? Have you really done this? Are you crazy? And think about it like this: Pam Bondi now has to go to court, and every judge in America will remember her. Not because she was the DOJ, but because of what she did to other judges. It's bad. U.S. attorney's going to jail. Elon's definitely going to jail. He is. Subscribe for more.